Hello everyone, this is Tim, and this is going to be a video talking about social skills, role-playing, and how you should go about doing that, perhaps. At least this is one take on it. I've talked a little bit in the past about how I prefer role-playing. I love when characters just get into the role of character, they act things out, they say the things that their characters want to say. They try to embody their character. And that isn't the way that everyone plays. And I understand that, especially at like public games like conventions or gaming clubs, or sometimes even online games that accept people, randomly. Like, hey, the first 6 people that sign up, come play my game. You're not really sure what you're going to get. But if I'm sitting down with friends that I know, or people from YouTube that I have a pretty good idea on how they like to play things, how they like to role play, what kind of systems they like, etc., I'm looking more for that. I want players who want to role play. I want players that really want to get into the juicy bits of things and try to eke out as much as they can from that personality that they're trying to role play. That all the quirks and ticks that their character is made of. I want to see those come to play. They bring that to the table or to Google Plus or Skype or whatever we're using. I want to see that come out in the game. And that had me thinking. There's some people out there, who have made videos in the past. Disembowel comes to mind the most, I think. He's pretty strong on this point that, you're not a karate expert. That's why you have karate skills or attack skill to roll. So why should you expect people to have good social skills, to be as manipulative or as scheming, that sort of thing, as, should you expect your players to be that great at it? Should you put that emphasis on them to role play that out if they're, socially lacking, if they don't have great social skills? And my response to this, I've sort of gone back and forth. I've never really liked social mechanics, but when I played A Song of Ice and Fire, for some reason in that game it just clicked. That made sense to me. But I also had a GM, Zig Copacetic, who, even when the rules were used, wanted us to role play out each part of that social combat, maneuver back and forth and so forth. So that was cool the way he handled it. So thinking about all this, and that I do prefer characters to role play, so I guess I lean more on player skill when it comes to social interaction. All these things have been bouncing around in my head. And I think that it would be interesting if there was a game that had no social skills, had no social stats, and all of that was meant to be left to the player. There is an emphasis in this game, and this would be like a design goal, I guess you could say, that this game was designed with the idea in mind that it's looking for players that are going to handle that by themselves. They're going to role play, they're going to get in character, they're going to interact with NPCs just via what they say. The words that come out of their mouth is all that they need. They don't really need a mechanic. They don't need a dice roll. And even if, the system was made and there was no dice roll, it wouldn't be very hard for a GM to say, okay, roll dice. So, dice could be added into this later, but I've read a lot about certain game designers saying that they have this sort of mindset right off the start, and they design the whole game with that in the back of their head. They're thinking about that one concept, that theme, or just main idea they're going for with their game. So I think it'd be interesting to either make some sort of retro clone, or just take a system that you like and gut the social mechanics, gut the social stats, and pretend like they just don't exist, to modify the system that way. Because I found that making your own system is quite challenging and daunting, especially when it comes to the magic system. So what do you think out there about taking a game or making your own game that has no social stats, has no social skills? The emphasis is on the players and their player ability to get through those social interactions. So in this sort of campaign or game, there would definitely be a section on this part of the game that you are responsible to act out your character. And if this isn't comfortable for you or you don't like this, then go play another game. This is what this game is going for. This is the emphasis of the game. This is what the whole point of this system is about, to have that social interaction, to be immersive with your role playing and get into character and that sort of thing. So I don't know what you guys would think of that. Does the idea of no social stats is that scary? Is that daunting? Do you just not like that? Are you the kind of person that isn't very social, so that sort of game just wouldn't be for you? Do you depend on that dice roll even when you do role play situations out? Do you need a little bit of both? And I've heard, this is one of those things we've talked about before, where some people think that this is just be a terrible idea. Why wouldn't you include social mechanics or social roles or skills? And again, it just comes back to that concept that I want that to be more of a player ability than a mechanic. I want to watch the players grow and get better at role playing. I want to emphasize that in the game. So even though there isn't no real social mechanics in Labyrinth Lord, like you could drop charisma. Just say charisma doesn't exist, and that's pretty close to most of the modern games with Dungeons and Dragons 3.5 and up, third edition, fourth. With the skill challenges, just with social situations, they just wouldn't exist. I haven't really played fifth yet, but I've dabbled with it. But really, it's any game. Just take any game. How do you think that it would change if you did that? Would it change for the better? Do you think, again, this is a dumb idea, but I think it's kind of a cool idea. I like that. Like when I was reading Lamentations of the Flame Princess, there is an emphasis on character skill in the stat descriptions. So you really need to read through things and see what a high charisma actually means, what a high intelligence actually means. And for the most part, I do lean more heavily towards player skill, and I like playing with players that have a good experience with role-playing games, have been around the block. I teach games to new people, so it's not like I don't enjoy that too, because I do. I like seeing brand new people, brand new faces come into the hobby, often because they have cool new ideas and they aren't jaded. But for if I had like a perfect world and I could pick 6 awesome players, I would love for all of them to have high player ability, be able to role play, get into character, just have fun with things. So let me know your thoughts down there in the comments or video response. What would you do with a game that had no social skills or stats? Would you enjoy something like that? All right, bye.